You with it right here with who I started with. We something like the Spartan. It's going hard regardless. I'm from the 826 plus 5. Mo bitches, Uno Central Coast mobbing suicide. Only arsonist. I step in the booth and cats. I gotta keep it lit. Engineer all my music. I work hard at this.
That's right, live on Chicano Tube. We're back live on Chicano Street. Do me a favor, mi beautiful linda raza. Go ahead and hit that subscribe, hit that like, and hit the bell. And when you hit the bell, you got to hit the all button. That way you're notified every single time that we go live. We are back. We're going to talk about it because a lot of memes are circulating on the internet because today we know is what's nationally recognized as Christopher Columbus Day. And also they pretty much tweaked it. They amended it, tweaked it, whatever you want to call it, and now it's considered Christopher Columbus slash. So they put a slash, cabrones, a backslash. Indigenous Peoples Day. But does this get us mad? Are we pissed? Is Christopher Columbus, is he ruining our lives right now in 2024? Is that a valid excuse? Well, this does affect the raza because obviously we know our history. So let's talk about it. Before I get to Christopher Columbus ruining people's lives today, before we get to that, I want to mention this. Something came across my feed. BT hater elephant every day scamming for me. Oh man, he said he had a Chicano royalty in the building, and Chicano rap sucks, man. But anyways, um, there was something else came across my feed. It looks like another taquera got burned. It looks like she got burned. She recorded a video. The internet is gonna make her famous, absolutely. But this is something crossed my mind, and I said this could have been avoided so easily. Okay. And I'm going to give you some clecha right now. And this is not my knowledge. I'm going to give you knowledge that another taquero gave me. Another taquero. And I think this knowledge suits all the raza that are taqueros. For all of you that are, are self-employed or have your business, and it's serving food, which is tacos, burritos, whatever it is. You're a catering company, and of course in Spanish or Castellano, uh, we're gonna call it taqueros. So this is for you. This is what's happening. If you get contracted, for 50 people, 100 people, 150 people, whatever the number is, right? Whatever the number is. A taquero told me a while ago. He said, I have one price for the güeros, and I have another price for the raza, la raza, which is Mexicanos, right? And then he further elaborated, and it made total sense. Total sense. He goes, the reason I have different prices for different razas is because the güeros will picotear. The güeros will picotear la comida. Picotear, if you don't know what that means, is they'll eat, but in a very moderate portion. Moderate portion. And then he explained his charge for la raza. He goes, y a la raza yo les cobro doble o en unas veces lo triple, depende cuántas van a comer o cuántos me dijeron que van a estar ahí. Basically what he's saying is that the gabachos and other razas, it's one price, and with the Mexicans, it's another price. Why? Why? Even if you're at a Mexican party, gente, and let's just say it's, no importa si es un grupo de damas and they're all dressed, or it's a group of people and upper class. They dress like they fucking attend Luis Miguel concerts or something like that, right? Which means a little bit more upper class in society, whatever. They don't get it twisted. The raza will go up and get another plato and another plato and another plato. That is why, to avoid these issues going forward, you just have to price it accordingly in the beginning. Now I know, and the raza's real. We're real notorious. Hear me when I say this. La raza is real notorious at looking for deals. Me vas a dar un descuento. I hear it all the time. When I had a studio in Salinas, and my wife moved her studio to Monterey on Cannery Row, I would be the one that would always get asked for paquetes, descuentos. Never my wife. Never my wife, because she's in High Endville. Okay, to sit down and talk about a wedding with my wife, just look at her website, ChristineDiazPhoto.com. I mean, you're talking 5-6 racks off the top, off the top. But I would be the one that get asked for discounts all the time. Hold on, gente. I'm in motion. If my audio drops, just go ahead and let me know. This is what the taqueros have to do. They have to increase, double their prices, or sometimes triple their prices. Go ahead, Norris. For the rasta, and then that won't happen, because if she paid for 50 people and there was only 40 people there and the food ran out ahead of time, it got eaten early, is what I'm telling you. Que la raza somos comelones. Adjust your price. You tell the raza 50 people, whatever, $400, 500, $600. Get it to 800. Come on, if this is an event and people want catering, then they're gonna pay. If they don't want catering, that they're not gonna pay, then move on. That's not your client. Not everyone is everyone's client. Hold on, gente. I'm going inside the Costco right now. All right, now let's get to Columbus Day. Now let's get to Columbus Day. Well, a lot of people are saying right now on the memes, and these are mostly a lot of what do you call it? Indigenous pages, raza pages, Mexicano pages. Some, not too many, but some Chicano pages are also going with this. Hold on, let me show Pinchy Costco. They want to see that I'm a member. What did Cholo Juan say? Gang member. I appreciate you. Thank you, brother. September 30th. So when you go, they might want to have you renew it. Okay, I appreciate you. I am. He's checking my ghetto pass. He's saying it's almost expired. It's almost expired. Calmase. All right. Anyway, so a couple of the pages are recirculating this right now. I definitely am not one of these guys that is gonna ignore all the shit that was done. We don't ignore history. We talk about it. Just look at my guests. Look at my platicas. Look at what we've been talking about. And so I want to just bring this rationally to the Rasta and be like, okay, it's 2024. It's Columbus Day. Obviously, we know Columbus. Okay, what was Columbus anyways? Columbus, he was Italian. He was born in Italy. People get it confused. I know that they say his burial place is in España. I know they say his burial place was in España, but he era Italiano. And then don't forget the Spanish, they didn't come until pues another what, 28 years, 29 years, then they came. That's right, you guys. I appreciate you, Pancho Zapata. That's true, Mikey. Lots of low balling. Oh yeah, the raza's notorious, and I'm calling us out. I'm calling us out. The lady will beg her. Will beg her for discounts. Ay, no lo puede ser por 400. Ay, no la puede ser por 350. Ay, and guess what happens? Guess what happens when you do someone a favor? You get into this kind of situation right now. They ate all the food and she's wondering why. So I guess I have to. I'm not really throwing. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus, but on this one, I believe the lady that sold the tacos needs to adjust her business model. That's what she needs to do. I'm not saying she shouldn't get compensated. No, absolutely. You know what? You know what the right thing to do? You know what the right thing to do? Well, compensate, because I'm sure that here's another mistake that Rasta does is they don't have contracts. They don't do contracts. A lot don't. Not everybody, but a lot don't do contracts. So if there was no, if it's in contract and you got it in writing, it's a wrap. You pay what you need to pay because you wrote it, you agreed to it. That's what the written agreements are for. Okay. But a lot of the Rasta doesn't do that. So at least what's right on this instance, in this situation, what's right, why don't you pay her for the food she did serve then? At least do that. At least pay her for the food that she did serve. But again, she got to adjust her business model. All right, anyway. Don't gain the whole world and lose your soul. That's right, my boy. I appreciate you, cabron. Wisdom is better than silver and gold. I believe that all day long. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Yeah. Again, ain't no one mentally slaved over here. We question everything. Oh, we're gonna question it and question it and question it again and again and again. None but yourselves can free our minds. That's right. Then it says Rasta orale. That's right, cabron. In motion. That's right. I'm in motion. I'm actually right here at the Pinchy Costco. I'm stuck in traffic trying to get to the register. It's just a million people over here. All right, let's go back and talk about it anyways. I was all of that gente. Whew, we're like sardines in this Costco. All right. So anyway, let's go back to it. So Indigenous Day. Remove Christopher Columbus. Is that gonna does that do anything to us? You know, we know the Presidenta of Mexico, she's asking for an apology from Spain. Okay. But then where is it gonna end? That's all I ask. Where is it gonna end? Apologies? How about then? Okay, if we're gonna go down that road, if we want to go down that road, well, then how about all the people Napoleon conquered? One country to another country, they should apologize. Or how about all the other people Genghis Khan conquered? One country to another country, they owe an apology. How about, do you see what I'm saying? Where is it gonna stop? Are we getting better sleep if there's an apology? I just want to know. Are we? Does it change our situation if we do get one? I mean, I'm just asking the people. I don't know. I'm just asking the people. Let me check some of the comments that you guys got right here. Columbus Day is for people from Colombia. Way. No, it's not, cabron. But that was a good one. That made me laugh, cabron. No, it's not. It's he was born in Republic of Geneva, something like that, in Italy. But again, he basically opened, and we'll talk about the matadera. We'll talk about all that shit. Hold on. We'll talk about it because we can't avoid that. He basically he opened up all these what is it called? A whole new lane for exploring, right? Because he had some successful pinchy explorations. And so he opened it up, and of course, one of them was the one that affected the raza the most, which was when the Spanish came, cabrones. We already know what that resulted in. It was just discovered that Columbus was mostly Spanish. And oh, is that right? By bloodline? Okay. I haven't researched that deep because it really doesn't interest me that much. Really, what I do is I look at where the person's born, right? Person's born, where they were raised, or whatever. But it was found that he was mostly Spanish and Jewish. That's right, cabrón. Ernesto Ruiz says every weekend is cumbia day. Oh man, every weekend is cumbia day. That's right, cabrón. There's a funny joke I heard a comedian say. Mexicans are notorious at giving nicknames, right? We're notorious. Oídos de satélite, or shit like that, right? And one comedian said he has an uncle, and they call him Tío Cumbia. They call him Tío Cumbia. And the reason they call him Tio Cumbia, this is kind of gacho. Keep it a buck. This is kind of gacho. The reason they call him Tio Cumbia is because he was born with a dislocated hip, and so every time he walks, it looks like he's dancing cumbia. Man, the raza, we're notorious with nicknames. Colin came to the Americas to find the lost tribes of the Bible. Orale. That's right. I appreciate it. Thank you much. These are not mine. Okay. Hold on, raza. Hold on. I appreciate it. Got to do it today or tomorrow. Okay. Listen. No, that's it. I appreciate it. Give me a second, raza. Tio Cumbia. That one's funny, huh? Tio Cumbia. I appreciate it. Thank you much. Take me to the movie a little bit about him. It's called Even the Rain. Orale, that's right. All right, we got the homie hangout now. The YouTube Yarda attorney. Legal advice. Seek it from the homie hangout. He'll let you know. He won't steer you wrong. Indigenous Peoples Day is what it's called in Califas and some other states. And I think it's the most appropriate. So was it a good thing that they just did a slash Indigenous Peoples Day? I mean, I guess so. A win is a win, right? I mean, but what about totally erasing it? See, this ideology, what we talk about here, obviously, is a lot of California based, right? Which is, the state it's a blue state. And so there's just a very left liberal ideology. And it's not the whole country. Because then when you touch down in a whole nother, I mean, when you touch down in another state, then yeah, shit changes. Appreciate it. Thank you much. Thank you. When you go to another state, they're like, damn, California is like its own country. They trip out on how we do things here. But should we just do away with it? Is that just a California thing? Or is that just a super left liberal thing? Is like a feel good thing? Because really, what is it going to do? And where is it going to end? We want apologies. Apologies for this. Apologies for that. And when is it going to end? When will it end? We ask this country to apologize for invading that country. Ask this country to apologize for conquering that country. I mean, it sounds good that Shine Bomb said that. That sounds good. But where's it going to end? But anyway, let's get back to it. What's cracking, Mikey? That's right. St. Cal's in the casa. I appreciate you, my boy. That's right, cabron. We're talking to the raza about Columbus Day. And does it make you mad? Is Christopher Columbus affecting your life in 2024 in a negative way? Do you wake up with your blood boiling, wishing you could throw a chingazo at Christopher Columbus, give him a black eye? I don't know. The history is the history. Now, this is what I don't understand. And maybe someone can enlighten me, but I don't understand it fully. Say they came, right? And then obviously they took land from the people. They did what they did as far as what we know. But there's a lot of uncertainty on what I don't know. When they say torture, when they say rape, or massacre, are people just standing around watching this happen? No one is doing nothing. And I want that explained too. Like, then how come there's not an upheaval uprising? Was it the guns that they had? Because it's such a powerful weapon that all of us there was gonna be no kind of uprising because they're like, shit, well, why even try to do shit, right? Because look at the cuetes they have, or the muskets, or whatever they're called, right? Because I'm sure even if I'm conquered, but I'm not in handcuffs, right? I could start a pinchy revolt, right? And I see my women getting abused, my children getting abused. Wouldn't there be some kind of upheaval, some kind of uprising, some kind of revolt? So that's what I want clarification on. We're tribes kicking back and watching it happen, and we're like, well, fuck, they're gonna kick our ass, and let's not do shit. I'm trying to understand the gray areas, the gaps in the history. You know what I mean? I don't know it all, nor am I claiming to know it all. Homie Hangout drops a good read. Guns, germs, and steel. He said germ. Tingo. They didn't shower or what? That was gotcha, man. They didn't shower or what? Oh man, I'm on my way back to the office. It's interesting, right? The history. No, let's talk about something that's not funny. Let's talk about something that's serious. Okay. Because I'm a jokester. I'm a jokester and shit. Because life is short, man. Have some fun. Make light of it. I spent so many years of my life being serious. Being serious, being the one to politic and all this other bullshit. That now I just want to laugh and be with my family and be on YouTube. All right. So were they sucios? They didn't shower. I asked Norbies that. And I said, Norbies, then when do they shower? Like once a week? And Norby, he would say, no, it's like once a month. I'm like, damn, that's crazy, cabron. That's funk. You're gonna have Snickers, Snickers skin, just pieces of Snickers just falling off. Mugrosos. But guns, what do you say? Germs and steel. So steel, that's what I'm talking about. So when they came, if they're torturing, R-ing, abusing, all this other stuff, there had to be revolts, but maybe there were just undocumented revolts. Because I don't understand why people would just see that shit happening and tuck their tails. I mean, or can someone explain that? Man, I wish I had the homie Hangout on the channel. Maybe he knows a little bit more than I do on that. I never studied it, to be honest. Oppression, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. There is a prevalent victim mentality that will blame anything, or they'll blame a system, which I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm not saying there isn't bias. I'm not saying, lighter skinned people are not more favored than darker skinned people. I'm not saying that, because obviously I live in reality. Okay. That's why people fuck with me, because they know I want to approach it from get all the facts, get as much understanding as we can, and then call it. And they call it for the people. And if I can't call it, leave it up to the people's court. But did they see the steel and see the cuetes, and they're like, fuck, man, we can't protect our women because of the cuetes? Is that what happened? I'm not knowing. History is written by the victory, kid. No, it's funny, in the movie Troy, he said, you know, um, the king Agamemnon, something his name was, right? He said, history remembers kings and they remember victories. So that's right, cabron. It is. But again, the education in the U.S., they left out a huge piece of what happened when they landed here, which is what today is about. Some of the kids didn't go to school today because it's a federal holiday, and one of them did. I wasn't ready, and then one bus came, and I was like, "What the hell?" I thought he was off because the other ones are off, different school districts. But anyways, I don't know. He went to school. I dropped him off. I'm just trying to understand it too, cabrones. So what's serious is if torture did happen. What's serious is abuse did happen. What's serious is if women did get abused, taken into slavery. That's serious. That did happen. And ultimately, we are where we're at now because of all these conquerings of all these countries, of invading different countries. A lot of the bloodlines got mixed. I mean, almost everyone is mixed nowadays. I'm sure there's still pure blooded people, but most people are mixed nowadays with something, Even in the gabachos. We know the gabachos weren't here first in the United States, weren't here first. They weren't the natives of the land. So wherever they came from, they could have been mixed as well. A lot of them were Spanish, a lot of them were English, a lot of them were British. You know, yeah, we said European Americans. He is only telling the truth. They're not native to the land. But again, let's sum this up. let's sum this up. Is Christopher Columbus ruining your life right now? I want to explore that for a little bit more. Is it like we're waking up, fuck that, and I mean I get it. Like in the story of Geronimo, he was so pissed off he went to his grave thinking of revenge because they killed his family. Yeah, I can't even imagine it. And probably I'd be singing, not probably, most likely I would be singing a different tune if my family got unalived in the name of whatever, the cross, uh, conquering, uh, assimilating, you name it. That I'd probably be singing a different song, straight up. I'd be like Droops. Remember that one time Droops he checked Lucky? A lot of people don't remember that, but when Droops checked Lucky, when Lucky was kind of joking around about the situation with Alfredito, that the autistic boy that he got hit. Remember, he got smacked by a grown man, right? He got slapped, open palm. It looked like an open palm smack. Um, and Droops checked him, and when he said what he said, Lucky's like, "Oh shit, you made me feel like shit, Rick." Well, he told the truth. He goes, "I have two autistic nephews." He said, "If someone were to touch one of my nephews, one of them," he goes, "I'd be in jail for life. I'd be in jail for life." Damn, when he said that, he checked Lucky real quick, and Lucky was like, "Oh shit." It's true. We can't just joke around anything. Like Alvin, someone sent me a clip about Alvin. What a pendejo. Another pendejo clip on Alvin. Someone sent me a clip on Alvin, and he was in one of these he was doing a podcast with some gabachos that are like attorneys or algo. You know, they smoke. They smoke. So they're smoking weed on the podcast. The attorney is telling a story, right? The attorney is telling a story about a guy who crashed into a bunch of cars, and he also he also um he also broke a little girl's leg when he crashed into a bunch of cars. He broke a little girl's leg, and then he fled the country. And when he said that, all of a sudden, fucking Alvin starts laughing like a pendejo. This is why I say he never should have put himself as the face of any group, of anybody, any group, anything. He's a clown. He's a huge clown. Imagine that's your daughter, her leg got broken, and the guy, they can't fucking find him, and he went on the run, and you got a pendejo like Alvin laughing about it. That's what I'm saying. Him with Spider Loke, that was gonna crash. That was gonna crash. But anyways, let's get back to Columbus Day Cabrones. We got about maybe 10, 15 minutes. 15 minutes. The Europeans and the Africans helped to invade the Americas. Is that part of history, cabron? Mm. Columbus didn't believe in a fair trade. Well, a lot of people don't want to hear shit, anything positive of what Columbus did because of the color of his skin. I say if we base things in 2024 off of people's color of their skin, then we have taken a major step backward as a society. That's just my opinion. Other people still see skin color. You know, it's funny when I asked Kiawi about indigenous Barbie. That was you should the comments I got on the indigenous Barbie question I asked them was hilarious, man. And you know what? I want to I don't fully agree with what he said that there cannot be an indigenous Barbie. I don't fully 100% agree with them because I have seen instances, and this is just the Lord's design. This is how what I believe is God's design, where I've seen instances where the child looks nothing like the mom or looks nothing like the dad and has a different pigmentation of skin, a whole nother face, and it looks like she still has 100% the mom's DNA and the dad's DNA, but they just look different. So I believe there could be an indigenous Barbie. 100%. And she just, what God dealt her was lighter skin. But has anyone seen it? I don't know. For real though, that's an actual book, homie. It's a good read. Oh yeah, yeah. That's the no. I know you're not spamming us, cabron. Come on now, you're not spamming us. Biological warfare as well with the new disease from Europe to the new land. There's another gray area that I don't understand. One thing I said I don't understand is if they're R-ing women and they're doing this and doing that, is it because they had guns that there's no revolt, or there were revolts, but those revolts are the hidden slaughters that they just don't talk about because is that what people are talking about? See, I'm thinking logically. I'm trying to put two and two together. I'm thinking there were revolts, they had stronger weapons, and every time there was a revolt, they got massacred because again, they're women. People are saying their women are getting abused and they're getting taken into slavery. That can't be happening without any kind of uprising. That can't. Absolutely not. The natives are some of the most fiercest cabrones. I mean, fierce. It's like off with their heads. But I'm thinking it was probably the guns. It's probably the guns. The only shower when they only showered when they felt they were getting sick. Orale, that's right. Risky business in the casa cabron. This topic is a good one. It's Columbus Day, cabron. Today, and half of the people on the internet are wanting to delete it and wanting to cancel it. I want to know what the Raza's opinion. Some of you have different opinions. Some people are like, yeah, delete it, cancel it. But then if you want to delete it and cancel it, I want to ask you this, then is that going to make your life better? Is that going to put more motivation in your tank to hustle and get ahead and accomplish goals that you've set out or whatever it is? It doesn't have to be fucking 5 houses and be a millionaire, but is it going to motivate you to drive and thrive in life? That's all I want to know. It's a curious question, right? He says they don't shout. Yeah, oh, man. And gente, you know when I'm laughing, I'm not making light, but of course, it's funny, man. And I know what's pumping. I got to do an ancestry. That's what I got to do. I got to do an ancestry. I'm pretty sure when I do an ancestry, shit, I might be fucking 60% Christopher Columbus. I don't know. Man, Spanish. What if I'm like 70% Spanish? I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, they don't shower. They don't shower. You're viewing it through a 2024 mindset, though. Absolutely, we are because we're in the internet age. All this information age. We're hearing everything get laid out, and there's a lot of gaps that we're not hearing. Cabron, we don't have. I can honestly say we don't have the full history given to us, un redacted. O sea, we don't have the full history. I would like to know. Okay, they came. Okay, they fucking swindled. They hustled. They stole. They tied them up. They killed them. There was revolt. They killed fucking 3,000 this day. Then they killed 5,000. Then they killed 10,000. That's the honest history that we've been denied. So let me finish this comment up. Give me a second, Nete. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second, gente. Give me a second. Just 1 second, gente. My bad. Business. Give me a second, gente. My bad, gente. My bad. You know, I don't. There's certain conversations we ain't gonna put on YouTube, cabrón. It's all right. We here are and murder and pillage, but understand some tribes, cliques, we're doing that to each other as well. Okay. Yes, but we're coming at it one angle. Again, this is very limited. It's a very narrow view because we're only talking about Christopher Columbus and everything, the shit storm or whatever he did when he landed. But how many other tribes have done it? How many other countries? I talked about that not too moments ago. So if the president of Mexico was asking for an apology for Spain arriving and what they did here, how many other countries conquered other countries? You get mad at Genghis Khan. He probably did more than anybody. Get mad at Napoleon, the French. Cancel him. Again, this is a California, I believe. This is a California super left agenda that make not offend people. When there's an uproar in California, you know, they pass initiatives and measures, and this is just one thing that it'll I don't think it'll ever happen on a federal level. Remove Christopher Columbus, but again, super left leaning states are bringing this shit up today, especially on social media. Go and look at it. How can I? The memes are right now on social media. How can I celebrate genocide? That's that's a hard, stern statement. How can I celebrate genocide? I get it. It's the untold stories that need to be told in order to kind of understand that perspective, right? It's easy to say, right? And a lot of people just say, because brown, brown, brown. They want everything to be brown. You know what I mean? Someone commented on my interview that I got coming up. I got the mayor of Salinas. Okay, he's actually seeking re-election. He's not the current mayor, and he hasn't been the current mayor for like the last 2 terms. He retired. He stepped out. Donahue stepped out. Right. He was the mayor during the '90s when Salinas was, had a bad, just had a gang problem, and the gang problem when he was mayor was at its highest. And now, if he becomes mayor again in November, then he's like I talked to him, and he told me that there's other challenges. There's always challenges, but there are other challenges. But when he was mayor, the shit was hot on the streets. The homicide count was hot. So again, someone commented and said, "Oh, they're using you," something like that. They're using you, right? And I'm like, the fucking guy's not even the mayor. What do you mean he's using me? You know what I mean? And second of all, using me, I can't be bought. I can't be bought. And I'm not I'm not saying people don't have price tags. Of course, no one's putting $10 million in front of me for something, right? Or anything like that. But I just have principles, that no matter what, fuck, it ain't gonna happen. I already paid for too much that I did wrong in my life. So yes, groups revolted but had mixed results. That's true. And I was just assuming that, cabron, because when people say pillage, abuse, tie up, genocide, murder, I'm like, and people are just eating popcorn watching this. That's what I was trying to understand. But I appreciate it. Does the runner always clown the weddles because some ex-owners is not going to be him out? That's crazy. This comment right here. He knocks weddles because there's an NLR knocking his baby. Oh man, what's going on with runner is uh, reap what you sow. Some people call it karma. I don't call it karma. I don't believe in karma. Um, Karma, I don't even know what the hell karma is. Is it a fucking cloud? Is it an energy? People talk about laws of the universe. Okay, that sounds good. Self-help gurus. I believe in the Bible. So reap what you sow. It's gonna come back to you. But anyways, someone sent me a clip. The runner was in court lately. So I guess the runner has a CPS case on him for golpeando su hija. I mean, that's horrible. I don't even know that to be true. If it is true, then it fits his character. It fits his character. Because when I put the 10K judgment on him, my attorneys found he doesn't have a fucking bank account in the whole 50 states. So he's probably living off of mom's name, rent the apartment under mom's name, his bank account under mom's name. I mean, who else can you trust, right? But what happens? I mean, God forbid, I don't wish this on anyone, but it's happened to me when that person you count so much on is not here no more. The runner's all over the place. He's just, and that he's still a dope fiend and all that. Nothing's new. He comes out on the internet. I'm a real one, real one. We already know that his fucking house is full of Brillo. His house is full of Brillo. He's smoking everything up, coming on the internet. I'm a real one. I'll hold. Protect Lucky's. I thought Lucky was gonna give it up. No, those are just emotional moments, man. He gets, it's hard not to. You know what I mean? It's like he's putting energy into the podcast, but the podcast is pretty much breaking even. He wishes he could pay guests more. He wishes he could actually profit some that will help him, skip a little bit and be a little bit better mood doing the podcast. But since he's breaking even on the podcast every day and he's looking at his time as a loss when it comes to, balancing it out with the family, he's going to be doing it begrudgingly. He's going to be doing it begrudgingly. But it is what it is. Columbus has no relevance today, but as a country, it's about who, what is celebrated. And I'd rather see indigenous highlighted than Columbus. And that's coming from you, Cabron. That's coming from you. It's a differing opinion. Absolutely, it's a different opinion. Um, if you asked me, Mikey, would you pick Columbus Day over Indigenous People Day? Mm, I'd have to think about it. Let me see. Columbus or Indigenous People Day? Can't we do an Indigenous People Day all by themselves? Why do they have to share the day? Why didn't the federal government just give Indigenous people their own federal holiday and show them that you actually care about them by dubbing it a federal holiday? That way, we get time off of work and we're paid. The kids are off of school, and it's something that shows, hey, you guys fuck with us. But I mean, again, that's why Chicano Tube is here, cabrones. So we don't just feel pride. Dia de Muertos, so we don't feel pride. Cinco de Mayo, so we don't feel pride. And this is just our heritage. I can't speak for anyone else's. It's just our heritage, and our heritage is one of those heritages that is very very popular because of the colors, the culture, the comida, etc. And if you grew up in California, you had Mexican homeboys. You know what I mean? You did. Alvin laughs over anything. He's 50, but oh man, he's man. I don't know he's a cat. He's a cat. I don't know who's more of a cat, him or Joker. That's another nickname for Dubs. Joker the J Cat. Anything for a dollar Dubs is a good one. Or Joker the J Cat. That's another good one. Hold on. All right, I'm good. Columbus, he's a fraud. Okay. So let's say he didn't discover America. Okay, let's say, and again, a lot of people say he did it, Mikey. The people that were here native, they discovered America. Or said they grew up in it. It's all they did was bring a word, calling it something else. But the natives didn't understand that concept. That what do you mean you own the land? How can you own the land? How can you own the water? How can you own the sky? How can you own the clouds? People didn't even know this. You did not know this. When you own your property, and I'm talking about anything that's a property, that means anything that's been surveyed and sold, right? That's a property. When you own a property, you actually own the dirt below it with all the minerals and resources and everything. You own the dirt below it and you own everything above it. And I think there might be a certain limit on that, though. You have to check your city's ordinances, but there might be a certain limit on how much it is above it. A lot of people didn't know that. That's why you have millionaires. Like I know a story of a guy who had a un rancho in Mexico, and he didn't even know that he had a pinchy oil pipeline running under his property. And because he had the oil pipeline running under his property, guess what? That oil was his. And you know what he did? Well, shit. Made a deal with the government or made a deal with the contract. I think the government. I think it was the government. Made a deal with them. And guess what? He's a millionaire now. He's a millionaire. And you know what? He's not even dressing like a millionaire. He doesn't, he's not for clout. This is one of those men that has overalls, huaraches, and looks like he ain't got a pot to piss in. And he's a multimillionaire. But anyways, that clearly says fade, not trade. Orale. What are we talking about? Fade. My bad, I missed that one. That sounded funny though. If you say hello to Alvin, he will start laughing like a hyena. But when he interviews the district attorney, he's on his best behavior. I'm just saying, we've called him out. No one else has called him out. He's a failed politician. I was with the councilwoman Gloria De La Rosa, and of course the mayor. Gente, I don't even have a thought, one single thought about getting into politics, at all. Period, because I just don't have the time. But at least I'm not Alvin, a failed politician. No one, none of his, no one in the comment section I ever see. Hey, Alvin, did you ever explain to the people what really happened? Because all they remember was you raising your right hand in a community post, being so happy that you achieved what you achieved. And the next thing they know is you don't mention anything about politics anymore. What happened? Well, he doesn't want to answer that. I seen an interview that natives will never forgive and forget what Columbus did to their native people. Absolutely, cabron. Imagine it happened to you. This doesn't personally affect a lot of us. It doesn't. To us, it's a pinchy day on the calendar. Our kids have day off of school. Maybe some of us had a day off of work. That's as far as it's impacting lives today. But there's other people that say no. You can't deny the history. You can't deny what happened. And they have maybe an ancestor that was personally affected, right? Was one of the slaves or someone that got murdered or art or something like that. So it's a controversial thing. I'm just saying you don't have to replace Columbus Day, but you could have given indigenous peoples their own day and made it a federal holiday. But again, gente, they're pandering to us. I mean, every 4 years they want our vote. They're pandering to it. Look at Pinchi Kemala. Look at Kemala. She speaks with black voters. She has a black accent. They got her speaking to gabachos. She sounds very pronunciative and speaks like very clearly. She talks to Mexicanos. and she tries to throw in a Mexicano accent. That's the very definition of pandering. So I got to give Kemala this. She's a very, very polished politician. The gabachos put money in your pocket way. We get it. You have to cater to the. Kiss this. What are you saying, way? You're saying the gabachos are my master or what? God, I guess like a fucking cracking the whip or what? Cálmate, güey. No, this okay. This I've seen this. I've seen this, cabrón. Mayordomos right here. Once they got given the game, instead of being a mayordomo, which is a supervisor, which is a very high position, it's actually an executive position in the company. You get paid. You're probably getting paid six figures at least to be a supervisor of ag laborers, right? But when they got given the blueprint, every time they got given the blueprint, they ended up buying the land. And guess what? Now everyone is working for them. That can be afforded to almost anyone. I want to say anyone, because it's the decrees of the United States or staff freedom and all that. But I say almost, because even in my own personal life doing business, I've been looked at a little bit different because I have brown skin. I know that still exists. So calmaste, coconut. Alguien dijo coconut. I didn't even get coconut until the other day. I was like, coconut? What does coconut mean? Coconut. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, oh, they got brown on the outside and they're white on the inside. Oh, that's funny, man. That's funny. Christopher Columbus is not ruining my life, but I understand. And I'm not making light. Some people could get disrespected. I'm trying not to offend anyone because you should know me, my intentions. What I do in real life is help. 80% of my clients are raza, is help the raza. I'm just trying to have these conversations. I'm trying to bring this shed some light. Jesus Huerta says that means Sancho. Watch out, he's coming off of work, cabron. Jump through the window, cabron. Risky, I was thinking the same thing. Damn, man. About, the gabachos put money in your pocket. Way we get it. You have to cater to them. No, gotcha right there. Gotcha. So the gabachos are paying me, so I'm a puppet. That's what Oh man, that's funny. I take that with a grain of salt. Don't trip, Risky. Don't trip. I'll tell you who is a puppet, man. You tell Alvin. Look at Alvin. Alvin said he would never, ever, ever step on No Jumper or have Adam on his podcast. And look at how quick he sold himself for views. So this is what happens when you compromise your character once. Your character is always compromised forever. It's kind of like if you rat on someone. If you rat on someone, you're always a rat. And to each his own. Again, this is not the fucking gang banging talk, but you know what I mean. So once he did that, all the subscribers should have been like, this fucking guy is just in it to get my view. He doesn't care about me. And it's true what the runner said. A lot of people, and I got to give the runner some credit. It's true. He said a lot of people that say la raza and all this other shit aren't speaking from their heart because in real life, they're not helping a motherfucking thing. I get that too. That's probably a lot of people, right? And then I get what Marvelous says as well. Marvelous says when you do it and you do it in front of a camera, here, I'm doing this for you. Here's a turkey for Turkey Day. Or here, I bought this for you. Or here's 2 tickets for this. When you do it in front of a camera, you absolutely took all of the authenticity and heartfeltness of the action out of it because you just did it for the camera. I like when he said that. And it makes sense because that's my formula for blessing, which is the Bible says, don't let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. YouTube is fun and that's it. I'm gonna whatever I advocate or how I help people, and that's in real life. There were wars, and oftentimes the Spanish utilizing natives from one tribe to assist in the wars against each other. That's true. Now we're talking about the Spanish though. Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did Columbus land in North America? He didn't land in Mexico, right? So it was a whole different trip, right? The what they depict as Thanksgiving and the pilgrims. I mean, let's just keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Did they really have a pinchy meal and sit down when they got to the beach and learned how to fucking with body language communicate with the natives? Or did they hit the beach pillaging, looting, and unaliving people? And the whole Thanksgiving thing is a facade. It's another question. Maybe we'll talk about that around Thanksgiving. Oh man, live on Chicano Street. The diseases they brought with them killed off millions of the natives. Yes, I couldn't believe the number that I heard. I had to ask a second person. First, it was Wayward Son, and then it was my brother, Blue Deer, David from Tezcatlipoca, Azteca Dance, the Aztec dancers for the CCSOF, the Series of Fighting. I had to ask him, and he said, "No, hermano, it was almost 90%. It went from 24 million to less than 6 million." And then I asked them, I said, well, what was the timeline on this thing? They didn't just get here and all of a sudden, pinchy herpes, well, I don't know, just the first thing came to mind, started jumping on everyone like that fast. No, it was because of the intermingling. They let them chill, they let them kick back. And there has to be, gente, there has to be stories. Well, we're calling the Spanish mugrosos and all kinds of shit, but cálmase, gente. There has to be stories of indigenous women falling in love with Spanish men too, voluntarily, o sea, out of their own will. There has to be those stories too. There's just the system of the education system just gave us what they wanted to give us, man. They came, they made a turkey, and they made some stuffing, and they shook hands, and it was all gravy, baby. We know that's not true. But is it affecting your life? Like, you could use anything to throw the life down the toilet. Anything. It makes me think of like when I lost my mom. If I wasn't in my right mind when I lost mom, and say I didn't have a beautiful, supporting, loving wife, beautiful children, anything of anything, then I probably would have went all out. I probably would have went all out, and right now been on a 4-180 because I wouldn't have nothing to live for. So you could use anything to throw your life to the toilet. But if Christopher Columbus is making you lose sleep today, you might have other issues. Can't hate on Diddy and Epstein, but be cool with Chingado, cabrón. He's putting them all in the same boat. He's putting Diddy, Epstein, and Columbus in the same boat. Que gacho, man. That's a gacho basket. Okay. Don't put me in that basket way. Canelo is Irish. Well, I actually think Canelo has French blood, to be honest. Again, remember, gente, you could be, you could have, just because you're born in that country, when you're born in that country, it makes you a national of that country. But you could have French blood, two French parents, and be born in Mexico and look like Canelo, and the country adopted you. Why wouldn't the country adopt you? You're knocking everybody out in the name of the country. The country is going to adopt you. Okay. There's a lot of people like that. Luis Miguel. The cabron was born in Puerto Rico. Luis Miguel, even though of course it's more classical music, more for a little bit more posh crowd, right? Um, the cabron, his dad is Spanish, 100%, 100% Spaniard. The dad, Luis Miguel, and his mom is 100% Italian, Güera, Italian. And then to add more confusion, he was born in Puerto Rico. And then to add more confusion, he Mexico claims him, and he says, "I'm Mexican." And a lot of people didn't know this. Luis Miguel is the most highest record selling artist ever in the country of Mexico. And you look it up, fact check me on that. Luis Miguel sold more than Chente, Infante, Aguilar, whoever you think, Juanga, Gabriel, whoever you can think of, as a Mexican artist. Luis Miguel smoked their shit times 10. He's a popular guy. The Aztecs and Tlaxcala Caltecas assisted the Spanish during the Chichimeca War. And I mentioned this. I said, does that make them traitors? No, it didn't make them traitors. Does that make Malinche a traitor? You know what's funny is not funny, but what I've noticed is a lot of people watch Chicano too, but they won't mention me. But you know how I know they watch Chicano too? Because their content is piggybacking off of my content. Oh, I put out something on Malinche. Who the hell has been talking about Malinche? And of course I'm in the Chicano genre. There's not a lot of us in the Chicano genre, but I watch other genres. Well, not a lot, but I watch some. Um, no one was talking about Malinche. I brought her up. Boom, people are talking about Malinche. So I know people watch. But I mentioned that and I said, you have to think about it and their times también. We're looking at it like well, there's a lot of divisiveness right now. We're looking at it like from a race point of view. Brown, you're white, you're black, you're yellow, you're red. And I guess a lot of these are tendencies that come out because we tend to gravitate toward our own. We tend to exalt our own heritage, gravitate toward our own. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just like there's nothing wrong when Kiawi said, I rather marry an indigenous woman to keep the bloodline going and wholesome. I believe what he believes. If everyone has the right, and if you want to call me a racist because I want my daughter to date a Mexicano, pues que te vayas a la chingada, entonces. You're not going to stop me from speaking my mind. Anyways, so I don't think they're traitors. I think they just did it, cabron, because it's tribalism. They didn't think they're gonna fucking form New Spania and all this other. They got fandangled. Hey, help us out. We'll knock out your enemies. It'll be better for you. That was it. But divide and conquer, cabron. Divide and conquer. That part's true. Chichimeca. That's right, cabron. So there is always and will always be plenty to blame to go around. Raza was divided from even before the arrival of the Spanish. Mm. Columbus is Mikey's mentor. Oh man, coconut. I don't know, gente. I'm telling you, I didn't go to college. I did get indoctrinated by who? By the gangs. The gangs were the ones that Kiawi said he has an issue with the Brown Berets who are coming on Wednesday night and how they adopted Azteca culture as part of their movement and not I guess his issue, and I don't want to put words in mi hermano Kiawi's mouth, but I believe that's because I believe, I don't know it to be true. That's because they might not have direct where's maybe he wants to see paperwork. How is that your tribe? Should you be able to talk about a tribe without providing any kind of paperwork? You know, homie hangout. And when the homie hangout comments, I highlight it. I'll tell you why, because I really esteem. Este way is bien inteligente, el cabrón. He's studied up. So I really value when he says something. He just doesn't throw shit out there. He's not like Alvin, just throwing things out there, etc. Well, Alvin, we already know he's as real as a $3 bill, but it's natural to gravitate toward your own kind. But it's been made more extreme in the United States because emphasis is on race politics. Damn it. Chingado, man. They're not ready for that conversation. They're not ready for that it's true. It's divide and conquer. Keep them divided. Keep them divided. It's true. Hijo de su chingada madre, man. Again, they want our vote. They want our vote on November 5th. I know the whole blue collar industry is waiting to find out who's going to be the president. A lot of people want changes. It's not one man or one woman that's really the savior of anything, because then another cabron will come in 4 years and undo everything with executive orders on day one. That's why I don't hang off a cliff on any politician. But if you ask me who I'm going to vote for, I'm going to only base it on facts and numbers. Feelings, I mean, what are we going to do? If you want to talk feelings, well, shit, just put the gloves on. Might as well throw chingazos, you know what I mean? Because you're going to get all up in your panties and fuck, just put the gloves on then. Mr. Goy's in the casa. That's right. One of the original day oneers from the 831. I appreciate you, cabron. And gracias for tapping in last night, cabron. We had a legendary, gente. The playlist last night was thick. I almost didn't want to stop. It could have turned into a 3-hour Sunday night show. But I appreciate you, Goyo. Goyo was there. Gavin Newsom signed a bill prohibiting California schools from having a Native American mascot or logo, and it can't be in the name either. Well, there's a petition going around right now to rename the Washington Commanders the Washington Redskins. There's actually a petition, and a lot of the support for the petition is coming from the Native community that's saying that didn't offend us. That offended you cabrones, and you guys aren't even fucking us. So it's crazy that you can have, well, let's just say, just as an example, güeros, gabachos be the primary lawmakers in the country. And do they know what's better for the Rasta than the Rasta? That's why I believe no one should speak for us other than us. That's why I was always opposed to Alvin bringing Mexicanos into issues. And I'm like, hey, cabron, we already have a lot to deal with already as far as making progress in this country. We don't need you bringing us into your pinchy wars over there with Adam, with Spider-Loke, firing West Coast graffiti, showing your true colors. He was your best taita since day one, and you had him on the channel 5 or 10 times, and now you did him so dirty, he blocked you. But then he blocked me too. Stay away. Why'd you block me, West Coast graffiti? All I did was comment on your lives, Gilvo, every time, and you blocked me. Respect is reciprocal, Mikey. That's right, my boy. I appreciate you. Homie Hangout 2024 for president. Hit a one. Hit a one if we need Homie Hangout 2024 for president. But I'd have to ask you a couple political questions first. No, I'm just kidding, Cal. Actually, I'm not kidding. I would. Native Holocaust. Damn. See, that's what Kiawi said. He said that it was big, it was a bigger Holocaust than the original Holocaust. And I wanted to know the numbers, or I want to know an idea. All I heard was there was 24 million, and by the time they had settled and created Nueva España, the numbers went to single digit millions. Now, if that's true, yeah, that is a slaughter. Mexican gangs don't matter no more ever since they accepted other people's. Okay. Kind of want you to break that down a little bit more, cabron. But as far as the gang culture goes, I've said this from day one. Gang culture will put you in a box, will ruin your future, will ruin your chances for success. Do you want to have a family, be stable, have money, travel the world, be independent, have money in the bank, or do you want to stare at a 5x8 concrete box and try to be like Tony Montana? I mean, the choice is yours. It really is a vacuum. It really is. A lot of my friends were second, third, and fourth generation because their dads were in the mob and their brothers were, in YA. And so for a lot of us, we really didn't have a choice. But now that I look back, I'm like, shit, we were programmed. Bro, we were programmed like Tesla robots, straight up. But again, that's the barrio, what Kiawi said. That's the barrio seeking for community mentality. I love my barrio. I love my barrio. I love my barrio. When we should really replace that with I love my God. I love my family. I love my wife. I love my children. But some people love their barrio more than those things. Hey, I'm working on it, cabrones. I'm working on it. And I might be the only one on YouTube working on it, too. Rascals feed me. That's right, cabron. American Holocaust. Ooh, that'd be an interesting title. Write a book, Raskizi. Write a book, American Holocaust. Just the name, but well, you have to trademark it. It might already be trademarked. It might. It's a real popular name. That'd be a bestseller just from the name. Rascals feed me. He's been feed me since day numero uno. Can the Rasta come together or no? Indigenous Mexicano, Chicano? Absolutely. Though this is the way we come together. What's the objective? What's the greater good? Why do we need to come together? Absolutely. I talk shit about Alvin. But I mean, say if I was a multimillionaire developer and say Alvin was the most recommended GT Concrete, I think that's the name of his business, GT Concrete. say GT Concrete was the most recommended a concrete company for a project I'm on, and say the contract is millions of dollars, millions. For me, it's more. I'm the developer. Alvin, he's gonna get broke off a slice of the pie, but I get the majority of the pie. Would I say fuck him and not do that? But say I know he's the most reputable and reliable and trusted contractor in the area, bro, I wouldn't have a fucking single problem calling it. He might have a problem dealing with me. You don't got to deal with me. Deal with my secretary. And I would show love to him. And I know even though I know he wouldn't do that to me. Why would I do that? That's because that's how I was raised. That's how I was raised. That's why God takes care of me. I can easily put issues to the side. That's what I'm saying. I could easily put issues to the side. I'll help him out and make him fucking rich. Even if he did give me the finger or keep me blocked. I don't give a shit. And my wallet, man on fire says on my wallet. Chicanos, killing Chicanos is what they want. And maybe I lit a firestorm with Miklo, you know what I mean, by saying that. Again, I'm being technical with it. These are all just conversations on Chicano Street. I really am not trying to promote any kind of divisiveness. Never have I said Chicanos are some kind of superior gente. None of that shit. Absolutely miss me with all that shit. Because if we did that, that'd be like looking at skin color. And if we looked at skin color, that'd be like taking a step back. Last week, correct me if I'm wrong, former President Barack Obama, he's calling on the black community to back up Heels Up Harris. Maybe you never heard that one. The Rasta gave her that nickname too, Heels Up Harris. He's calling on for them to back up Heels Up Harris. And Herschel Walker, legendary fucking Eagles running back, said if we're voting based on skin color, then we're back to the 60s and the 50s. I agree. I had to work late, so I missed your Sunday night. That's right, cabrón. But you're doing a grown man shit way. At the end of the day, no matter what you do, you get up. I don't give a shit if it's flipping burgers, if it's a janitor. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Bro. I used to jump in dumpsters. I used to jump in large dumpsters for my mom to pull out botes, glass, and recyclables. So you talk about fucking at the bottom. I started from the bottom and I don't forget where I come from. So whatever you do to make a living is honorable. Believe that. That movement is more important and we all benefit, in my opinion. Which movement way? What are you talking about? The ones offended are the negros. They are pushing the issue regarding the native mascot. Oh, with the Redskins? Yeah, the Redskins are wanting it back, because there's a community close by there that identified with it and looked at it like, finally, we have something. We have something that's ours. And the way it looks is it was non-natives that changed that law. Shouldn't the people be asked and have the biggest voice in the matter? I'm just saying, like what Alvin wants to bring Mexicans. How come he never said in any one of those lives, oh, but you represent the Mexican community or the Mexican community this or Mexican. Oh, I just want to make it clear. I'm not Mexican, but I know what you mean. I'm brown and I grew up with Mexicans, but I'm not Mexican. I'm actually Central American. Instead of bringing people into your wars, come on now. Risky Business says one. He wants to see homie hang up 2024. I don't know, Raskizi. We got to talk. We got to talk policies, okay? We got to talk the border. No, I'm just kidding. Risky. Not when people keep finding ways to hate on each other. Hating on brown berets for using Aztec symbolism is rooted in the same superiority complex that hurts us. I got the brown berets. I got them coming on this Wednesday night. And then I think I'm going to do an interview with the founder, because I don't want to digress. I don't want to be looking at the comments. I want to know the founder of the Brown Berets' complete history. And I'm very honored to have, he's Chicano, what I consider Chicano royalty. I'm very honored to have him on the platform. I haven't seen him on any other platform. If he's heard my videos and he knows I think objectively, I'm trying to give the people a pride and a sense of identity and who they are. Wear it on your chest. So that's what I want to do with him. Baby Love Substance, I appreciate you, amiga. Gracias for tapping in. Communism trumped them all. Chinga. Ain't no one want to go to Cuba for the same reason. You go to Cuba, you can't even eat beef. Because what do they do with the beef in Cuba? They export it for the economy. That's fucked up. Communism. If you're in Cuba, you're basically headed toward one career and one career only if you want to achieve middle class status in Cuba, and that's working for the government. So there is no, I want to be a lawyer. There is no, I want to be a doctor in Cuba. All you can aspire to do is join the government. It's called communism. What about China? They don't. China can't even have the internet because if they see the internet, communist countries, if they see the internet, a differing opinion could be seen and thought about, accepted in the country. That makes sense. Why they want to shut. There's no internet over there. But again, it's propaganda. They believe they're good. They believe it's in their best favor. It's in their best interest. That's what they shove down their throats. I get it. Gracias a Dios that we're in the USA. I'll tell you that. Columbus Day, you guys, cancel it, keep it. Is it okay that they made it / Indigenous Peoples Day? Should they have given Indigenous peoples their own day? Let me know. What's your opinion on 23andMe putting out wrong DNA results? I didn't even see that. 23andMe. I know there's a Güero 23and1, and I think he was in South Carolina, and he sits on a gaming chair and talks about federal facilities. I know that 23 and something. I don't know what 23andMe is, putting out the wrong DNA results. Now I'm interested, amiga. Could you send me a link? You know, we're Mexicanos, you know what I mean? And someone commented, the channel's turned into a chisme channel. I'm like, gente, turn on Mexican TV, okay? Ask me if you don't see Gordo en la Flaca. If you don't see where they mix a little bit of chisme, we talk about it. It keeps it interesting. But you know, it's not the whole channel, so cálmase, all right? Gang culture is youth culture. It's Peter Pan shit that too many of us have fell for. Man, right in the dot. Right in the dot, cabron. O sea, the gang culture to me was always it was it was a sense of belonging for people that had root issues that weren't getting dealt with. That's how my first definition when someone asked me what's gang culture or what's the allure to it, it was a sense of belonging because there was root issues that weren't dealt with. 9 times out of 10, the dad ain't there. When I ask the youngsters, when I go to the camp, juvenile hall, simple stuff about their life. Hey, you got mom and pops? Hey, you got a stable home? This or that, little things I'm trying to get to know them, right? And no, pops left. Never had a pops. Only had moms. Respectfully to the ladies, respectfully, I say this. You can't teach a boy how to be a man because you're not wired as a man. The emotional, the tenderness and the emotions and everything that's what makes man and women a perfect couple, media naranja. The half that you're missing, that's why that men are wired for, is what's going to teach that man to be a man and to teach that boy how to protect his family and lead him when he gets older. And it's a is it impossible? No, I'm not saying you can't raise them right. Absolutely not. Shit. Absolutely not. I'm just saying, I hope what I said makes sense. I don't know. I'm not trying to offend. All right, you guys, live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. I'm going to let you guys go, man. It's been already La Hora. I appreciate you, Ninja5150. Everyone in the comment section. I got to go back and read the comments. But of course, Homie Hangout is 23andMe is a company that does DNA. Vato. Oh, okay. Do I believe DNA companies? I don't know because it could just be they want 29.99. I don't know. It could be that they're filling in percentages. I mean, what are they basing it off of? I mean, all they have is what? Birth certificates or the national registry? I mean, I actually would put more on hearing it from my elders, hearing it from my own generations of family. I would put more emphasis and trust into that than I would ever on a test that comes from some pinchy national registry. But I'm just saying, I don't know. That's just me. Maybe the natives agree with me too, as they've said, hey, you got to hear from an elder. You know what I mean? Anyways, you guys, live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. I'll let you guys go. I appreciate you guys. We'll be back tomorrow for the lunchtime mix, and we'll also be with the Brown Berets on Wednesday night. And then we got the founder coming up real soon. And then this coming up on Thursday night, I'm gonna drop that video with the founder of the Brown Berets. And then Friday night, you got the first promo with Boxer from Paradigm Media News and Mile High Hustle. I can't wait. It's gonna be an absolute banger. So the week's busy, you guys. I'm gonna let you guys go, but drop your comments below if you're listening live or you're listening on the replay. Does Columbus Day affect you? Should it be replaced? They made us slash Indigenous Peoples Day. Should Indigenous people gotten their own day, federally recognized? That means you're showing them love. If you really ride for us or back us up, and I say us because I do know I have that blood in me. That gives me some right out on this. Okay. Yeah, he's hearing. He's like, yeah, but you don't have your tribal paperwork. Come on.